Horror as a genre has changed a lot this century. What went from silent terrors and mass killers turned into high art commentaries on real-life demons. The seriousness of horror movies have brought in many casual moviegoers, but also turned those away who admired the grotesqueness of the genre only when paired with comedy to lighten the mood. One of the horror franchises that did that was Final Destination, a franchise that took itself seriously while still having fun. The deaths are always gory, but in a funny way. The creativity of the premise is what separates Final Destination from being just any other horror franchise. So, how does 2025's Final Destination Bloodlines compare? On May 10th, I managed to see Final Destination Bloodlines early, and I have to say, it was a blast. It took a worn-out franchise on its last legs into a new era, creating inventive ways to modernize it, while staying true to its campy horror roots. Being the longest film in the franchise, it takes more time to develop the bonds between characters and attach you to them, which makes it all the more sad when death comes knocking. This time, the characters being confronted by death actually know each other, so there is more of a repertoire and bond with the main cast. The clever plot manages to weave in humor, heartfelt moments, mystery, and some of the craziest kills yet, making it my favorite film of 2025 so far. The most iconic scene of any given Final Destination movie is the opening, in which a major disaster is prevented by our main character, which is the stimulus for the film's events. Bloodlines flips the script, this time setting the opening scene years before the rest of the film, 50 to be exact. The scene, set atop a large glass skyscraper, was easily the best opening in the whole franchise. It was spine-tingling, especially as someone who is extremely afraid of heights. Every little crack in the glass made me quiver in my seat as a ticking time bomb till the big event. This scene was sold by the very talented Breck Bassinger, who I'm a huge fan of thanks to Stargirl. She brings a naive yet smart presence to the scene, realistically showing the emotions of someone in that perilous situation. With the improvement in technology since the last film, the outstanding effects sell the tower's collapse, almost as much as Breck's performance. The thing Bloodlines does right is what sets it apart from other entries. It has a unique concept of death going after a bloodline that was never supposed to exist, which is refreshing. One of these cursed families is the Lewis family. Our lead character Stephanie, played by Caitlin Santawana, was extremely charismatic and likable, something I cannot say for all Final Destination protagonists. She is an extremely expressive actress, which helps for a film full of shocking moments. I also really liked her younger brother Charlie, played by Tio Briones, and her dad, played by Andrew Timpoli. Stephanie and Charlie's relationship with their mother, played by Rhea Kilstead, was a great emotional core to the story that humanized what would otherwise be a bonkers film. The other side of the family, the Campbells, are even better. The parents, played by Alex Zahara and April Telek, were hilarious, especially April, who had a great comedic twist in the middle of the film. Their eldest son, Eric, played by Richard Harmon, was lots of fun, garnering many laughs from the audience. His carefree douchebag attitude could have been unlikable, but Harmon really sells it, adding both humor and heart to the role. The middle child, Julia, is portrayed by Anna Law, an actress who I recognize from the CW show Gotham Knights, which, contrary to popular opinion, I thought was absolutely incredible, and Anna was one of my favorites on that series. Her Bloodlines character, Julia, is a sarcastic and funny young woman who feels very realistic. The youngest Campbell sibling is Bobby, played by Owen Joyner, who is just an absolute sweetheart. I recognized Owen from his Nickelodeon days, so it's great to see how much he has improved as an actor. My audience laughed at literally all of his lines. Bobby is such a lovable guy that you want to root for, which made him easily my favorite character in the film. The other important cast member in this movie is Todd, as William Bloodworth in his final movie role. I cannot explain without spoiling just how perfect this send-off is, but I would just like to say that all fans of Todd's work and this franchise will be very pleased. As in all the movies, Bloodworth has a small role, but oh boy does it really count. We finally get some very satisfying answers behind this mysterious character, and whilst I'm very sad we won't get to see Todd return, I'm very content with how Bloodworth finished off. Other than the disaster, the Final Destination franchise is also known for its extremely inventive kills, which Bloodlines does better than any other. The creativity and brutality of these deaths astounded me and filled my audience with so much laughter. They were for sure silly, but in a good way. Overall, Final Destination Bloodlines was a blast. It was gory, campy, funny, and one of the best times at the movies I've had in ages. Almost being halfway through the year, this is the best film of 2025 so far. I would 100% recommend you seeing this film. You won't regret it. I would give it a 9 out of 10. That was my non-spoiler review for Final Destination Bloodlines. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can watch more videos just like this. Have a great day. Bye!